I'm the director of the Midwest region for the Israel Ministry of Tourism. So I oversee the 13 states in the Midwest. I will show at the end all of our directors that we have throughout the US, and I'd be happy to make connections if anybody has questions. Sivan and I are both excited to be here today to talk a little bit more about all things Israel. I did want to just kind of start with the current situation and what things look like right now in Israel. First of all, we are open. And Sivan will talk a little bit more about it, but El Al is our only airline that is flying direct. They have multiple gateway cities here in the US that they are flying through, so we're very excited to have them and be able to still bring tourists to Israel. So right now we're about 40% of what our numbers were in 2019. 2019 were record-breaking numbers for us. 2023 was on target to be our best year ever, and then unfortunately, after the attacks on October 7th, tourism has significantly changed. However, again, we're back to about 40% of our normal tourism. I'm excited to share that in October, the ICEJ, which is the Israel Christian Embassy of Jerusalem, they hosted a large event, the Feast of Tabernacles, which had 50 countries and 400 Christians that were in Israel celebrating. So we're very excited to have them there. A lot of the trips, they did come back as more of the solidarity, the volunteer, and the humanitarian type trips. But we're happy to start seeing more of your traditional tourists coming back, that they're looking for more of those traditional itineraries. So we're excited. We know that tourism will come back. And these are just, some of the things that are happening right now in Israel. And we want you to feel that you can bring your clients if they're interested. So I wanted to start out with giving some just general information about Israel. For those of you that are new, Israel, we do sit right on the Mediterranean. We have 6 microclimates along the way. We have beautiful beaches, we have valleys, deserts, mountains, rivers, and something that I think a lot of people don't realize, that we are at the end of the Alpine Trail. So in our north, we do have a downhill skiing resort. So we really do have everything that we offer for your clients that are interested in going to Israel. In terms of how to get there and the entry points into Israel, Ben Gurion is our airport right outside of Tel Aviv. Most of the international flights coming from the US are going to come into Ben Gurion. We do have another airport further south near Eilat. That's for mostly the smaller planes that are coming from Europe. We also have the domestic travel between the Tel Aviv and Ramon Eilat area that they can fly as well. But really, the luxury of size is something so important for Israel. Everything is so close, top to bottom. It is really just an 8-hour drive to get between the very tippy top of Israel down to the very bottom of Israel as well. We do normally have cruises coming into Israel. Our 2 ports are in the north, the Haifa port. We also have one in Ashdod, as well as there's a port in Eilat as well. Israel really is a destination that we are consistently ranking and known for it being an award-winning destination. It's on many travelers' bucket lists. Forbes has recognized us. Patheos did a great series of the top 100 most holy places on earth. And as you see there, Israel ranked many times within their top 100 list. I wanted to discuss a little bit about some of the key regions so that you can become familiar with some of the different areas of Israel that you're offering your clients. One of the things I talked about before is the luxury of size. And one of the things in terms of the luxury of size is you really are selling most of the country when you are offering it to your clients. Many times there are clients that are looking to go to places like they'll go to Paris, but they're going to Paris. They're not going to see all of France. They're going to see one specific area, one specific region in their trip. but really in Israel, you have the opportunity to see so many different regions within. And I wanted to kind of highlight some of those key regions because each one's a little bit different in what they can offer for you and for your clients. Jerusalem. And why Jerusalem? I mean, Jerusalem really is one of the most holy cities in the world. It is an ancient city with more than 3,000 years of history, and it's alongside the modern. We have the 19th century and modern neighborhoods throughout as well. 80% of the tourists that are coming to Israel, they are coming to visit Jerusalem, and they're going to have those experiences and those opportunities. We have over 909 restaurants and 71 bars in the area. We have a great public transportation system. So if they are not part of a group and they're not part of having a tour bus that they are going on, we do have public transportation like the light rail that really does give connectivity throughout the city. But one of the nice things too is it gives the connectivity between Jerusalem as well as Tel Aviv. I can tell you one of the last times I was there, I was staying in Jerusalem. I have many, many friends that live in Tel Aviv, and I took the train very confidently by myself both times. Yes, I've been there many times, but for someone that doesn't speak the language, it was very easy for me to navigate, and it was very easy for me to get to the different areas of the city. Some of the highlights of Jerusalem, we have the Machne Yehuda Market. We also have the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Western Wall, Yad Vashem. And I want to kind of highlight a little bit about each of these. The market, Machne Yehuda Market, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble pronouncing today, but they have amazing fresh fruits, vegetables, spices, different things like that. And one of the really interesting things that you can do, both here in Jerusalem as well as doing in Tel Aviv, is if you have clients that are foodies, that they really love that opportunity to experience the local culture through food, there's opportunities that you can set up for them to do a tour of the market in the morning. They're shopping for their ingredients, their fruits and vegetables, whatever they need. And then in the afternoon, they're working with the chef and they're having that hands-on experience of creating amazing culinary delights for them. For those travelers that are going and they might be looking for the experience to walk in the footsteps of their faith, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is an amazing experience. Many believe this is where Jesus was buried, and this is where his tomb was. It's the end of the Via Dolorosa. So if you have those clients that are Catholic and they want the experience of being able to walk the Via Dolorosa, this is a great experience, and having the opportunity to see the Holy Sepulchre is such a remarkable part of any journey. The Western Wall, it is, so many people talk about the Western Wall and the significance that it has both to the Jewish people as well as the people of the Christian faith as well. They like to have the opportunity to go and to experience, to be able to tuck notes in the wall. And for those of you that have been before, those notes that you might have tucked in the wall, what happens to them? What happens? We have thousands and thousands of visitors every year, and they're all placing notes within the crevices of the wall. Well, one of the great things is they are carefully collected, and they are buried on the Mount of Olives. So it's really a very sacred experience. They are still there. I will give you a tip that if you have an opportunity for your clients that they are in Jerusalem on a Friday evening, Shabbat, having the opportunity to go to the Western Wall is an incredible experience because everybody is joyful, they're singing, they're dancing, and it's just such an uplifting experience for your clients to see and be part of the culture and part of the celebration of Shabbat on a Friday evening in Israel. Now, Yad Vashem is an amazing experience and the opportunity as a memorial to the Holocaust. It's a beautiful museum, very carefully constructed, and gives you the opportunity to walk through in a very guided way. Our docents that are at Yad Vashem, many of them, some of them were at one point, they are survivors of the Holocaust. Others are friends, relatives of those that have survived the Holocaust. So having the opportunity to be able to go through the museum is just a very moving experience. Moving on to Tel Aviv, many people talk about Tel Aviv, and they talk about the fact that if New York and Miami were to have a baby, it would be Tel Aviv. It's right along the Mediterranean Sea. There are many bars and cafes and nightclubs throughout the area. We have 8.6 miles of beautiful beaches right along the Mediterranean Sea. The airport is just outside of the city. It's very convenient to take a train from the airport into the main city if that's what you'd like to do with your clients, if your clients want to do that, as well as opportunities to take taxis and different transportation if they want to do that as well into the city. It is a very biker-friendly area. We have 102 miles of bike lanes throughout the area. So for those that like to have the opportunity to bike and enjoy themselves that way, it's a great way to see the city. We're also very closely connected. It's the Tel Aviv-Jaffa municipality. So Jaffa is the world's oldest active port. So it's a great place to be able to go and visit, to see some different artisan shops as well as restaurants. Really a great area to be able to visit, and just highlighting some of those places within. We have Rothschild's Boulevard, which is really the heart of the White City. We have Tel Aviv is known as the White City. We're a UNESCO World Heritage Site for the most Bahas architecture. So for those that really follow that and want to be able to see that, whether they're interested in UNESCO World Heritage Sites, whether they're interested in architecture, it's unbelievable to be able to see that. It really is the commercial center. You have the cultural center, the main theater and concert hall, and the culinary center, all there on Rothschild Boulevard. I also mentioned Jaffa. Jaffa is our oldest port city that is still working. So to have the opportunity to be able to visit there, for those that have travelers that want to go for a faith-based experience, it is a place, Jaffa is a place where Jonah and the whale from the Bible happened. So they can see and visit there. Also, they can visit the house of Simon the Tanner and see where that would have been as well. Neve Tzedek is the first Jewish neighborhood just outside of Jaffa. So when that bustling port city became too much, Jewish settlers decided that they were going to move outside of the city, and it's the first suburb of Jaffa. There's many boutiques here, there's galleries and there are craft shops. There's actually one shop that has the most amazing gelato. So it's really a great place to explore. Whether your clients are looking to explore it on foot, on bike, it's a great place to be able to do that. The Carmel Market, I mentioned it a little bit when I was talking about Jerusalem. They have a lot of different fruits, vegetables, spices, the opportunity to really taste what Israel is like. They have people coming from all over the country, immigrating into the country, and it's really become a melting pot of different flavors and experiences and culinary explosions here in this area. So having the opportunity to send clients in the morning into the market to select their ingredients that they need and work with the chef in the afternoon really gives a very authentic hands-on experience. Moving to the north, for those that have travelers that are looking to just have the experience of walking in the footsteps of their faith, that they might have Christians that want to have the opportunity to see where Jesus lived, where he worked, where he performed miracles, the north really is the heart of the Christian experience in Israel. Not only that, we have over 100 vineyards and wineries in the area. We are known for our wines. We compete on an international stage and have brought home many, many wins for the amazing wine that we have. So it's a great opportunity that if you have someone that wants to have break in the afternoon and be able to go and visit a vineyard and taste different wines, it's a great addition to any itinerary. We also have the opportunity for home hosted events where if clients want to go into the home of someone from one of the Druze communities and experience what it's like in terms of the cooking and the culture, you can have that. We also offer that in Jerusalem as well as Tel Aviv. Some of the experiences are Shabbat of a lifetime, or having the home hospitality where you can actually go into a home and join a family, an Israeli family, and enjoy amazing culinary and really have the opportunity to interact with the locals. We also have in the north amazing archaeology like Megiddo, which has 20 layers of ruins, one on top of each other. For those that have a love of bird watching, we have one of the largest bird migrations that go through the area, and it's an excellent place to have the opportunity for bird watching. Highlighting some of the sites within northern Israel, Nazareth, which is the boyhood home of Jesus. We also have Akko, which Akko is another UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's one of the oldest ports. Again, Jaffa is being the oldest port, but Akko is one of the oldest ports, and there's ruins below and above the city, the street level of the city from the Crusader period. So you have the opportunity to walk through the Knights Hall, the Templars Tunnel, which is a tunnel that reached from the port area in the east that took you underground to the fortress in the west of the city and was able to go between. Haifa has the beautiful Baha'i Gardens, which is also, again, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's the third largest city in Israel. And then, of course, the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus lived and did most of his ministry. Moving southward, for those that really love the opportunity to have that outdoor experience, the 4x4 driving experience and outdoor activities, whether it be hiking, whether it be extreme sports like biking, rappelling, we have amazing opportunities for those there. It makes up about 90%, about 60% of the country. We have Eilat, which is the very southern point of Israel that has globally renowned scuba diving. So beautiful scuba diving there. I don't think a lot of people think of Israel and they think of scuba diving just like they wouldn't necessarily think of Israel and think of downhill skiing. One of the last times, again, when I was in Israel, we had the opportunity to go to the Ramon crater, which is one of the largest natural craters in the world, and had the experience of doing stargazing. And it was an amazing experience to sit out there in the evening and just be able to see with the naked eye as well as the telescope some of these constellations and really stargaze and just enjoy yourself. What a great end to any day. Some of the places in terms of highlight of it, again, I mentioned the Ramon crater. They have 4x4 experiences where you can do Jeep tours in the crater. They have the stargazing experiences. You can also do hiking there as well. You have Eilat, which is the very southern tip that has the snorkeling. It has the resort kind of atmosphere. They have the coral reef. They have the dolphins. Everything at it's right there on the Red Sea. And just a little bit north of there, only probably about 15, 20 minutes, is Timna National Park, which Timna National Park, it's one of the world's earliest copper mining sites. So you have the opportunity to walk through and be able to see these sites throughout. They also have hiking for all levels of experience there as well. The Dead Sea, one of our other regions highlighted, is that it is the lowest place on Earth. It's the third saltiest body of water. And for those that are like me with the very pale Irish skin, can give you a tip and you will not burn. Many people go for the incredible health benefits of the water, the air, the mud. You can have the opportunity for Bedouin tent experiences, as whether you want to sleep overnight or just have a hospitality experience during the day as well. Some of the sites, again, of highlight, Masada is a fortress within the desert there. One of my favorite places to be. You have the opportunity to do cable car up, or you can hike up for a little bit more strenuous experience if someone really likes to do the hiking and are able to do that. If there is an opportunity to do a sunrise, in the morning, and that unfortunately is only by hiking up the snake path of Masada. The cable car does not work at that time. You also have Qumran, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found, and Gedi, which is a beautiful oasis within the desert. And one of the things that I hope you take away is really there's an Israel for everyone. Whether you have travelers that are really interested in faith and heritage, culinary and wine, luxury, budget, adventure, nature. And one of the nice things is you really can customize and tailor for your clients. So if you have somebody that really wants the faith experience and to be able to have the experience of walking in the footsteps of the prophets, but also having the experience of trying amazing culinary, you can really combine and put something together that really works for them. Faith and heritage really is home to Jerusalem, which is the holiest city for the world's 3 largest monotheistic religions, and it's an opportunity for your clients to walk in the footsteps of Jesus, of Abraham, and the prophets across the nation. I mentioned throughout talking a little bit about the culinary and the wine experience. We really are the cradle of wine production, where everything is farm to table. I've talked to my Israeli friends before, and we talk about it farm to table, and none of them knew what that was, because that is natural. That is what Israel is farm to table. We don't import our foods. Everything is fresh and grown there. We have everything from luxury accommodations to the capsule hotels. We have glamping experiences. We have the Bedouin tent experience, as I mentioned. We have beautiful five-star hotels like the Waldorf Astoria, the Den hotel chains, and the King David, some amazing places. So no matter what your client is looking for, you really can accommodate them with different places. Again, adventures in nature, scuba diving to skiing, wherever you're going throughout the country, there really is something amazing to offer. We have a lot in terms of accessibility and wellness. Jerusalem is the world's first accessible UNESCO historic city, and that's something that we're very, very proud of. They've done a lot in terms of making it accessible for those that are coming, no matter disabilities, and having that experience within Israel. Multi-generation and connection. One of the things about Israel is so family oriented, and having that experience for all generations, whether it be the oldest member in the family to the youngest member of the family, to have the experience of sharing and activities, Shabbat dinners, and different things within Israel is it's a memory that they're going to take back for a lifetime, and you're offering that to them. We have culture and history. We have the 9 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I mentioned a few throughout this presentation. We have modern cultures, and just so much that we do offer. I mentioned at the beginning that I would be sharing my colleagues' information. Again, I am Jill Daly. I am the director based in Chicago. I oversee the 13 states in the Midwest. Chad Martin is our director for the Northeast. He's located in New York. Lorene is our director for Atlanta, for the Southeast, located in Atlanta. And then Dina is our director in LA, covering our Western region. We do have many different websites. We have a couple different websites that we offer, as well as our social channels. We have a brand new Israel.travel site that we've just revamped, but the thing that we're most excited about is we have agents.israel.travel, and it is an agent-focused website to give you the tools and resources you need to feel comfortable in selling Israel as a destination. One of the other things is we just newly developed an Israel specialist course. It is a brand new course that is through Travel Agent Academy that gives you the opportunity to become an Israel specialist, and it really walks you through the different areas of Israel. And I encourage you to sign up, take the time to go through it. It doesn't take long, and it is connected into different modules that you have the opportunity to go through the modules at your pace. We know everybody is busy, and you're really working to build your business as well as service the clients. And we know you don't always have time to sit through days of training, but this is a great course. And we're excited that you're here today, and I'm excited to turn it over to my colleague, Sivan, who is with El Al Airlines.
So, hi everyone. My name is Sivan Ziv, and I'm the district sales manager for Central US for El Al. We are the Israeli Airlines. And as Jill mentioned before, currently we are the only airline that operates from the US. So, I'm happy to kind of let you get to know us a little better. And with that being said, maybe by the end of the presentation, you'll feel more comfortable selling us and also more comfortable saying our name. I'll try and repeat it a few times. I know El Al is not easy to pronounce. So it means to the above. That's the name in Hebrew. And I know it's a little challenging, but let's start. As I mentioned, we are the national carrier to Israel. We have been operating since the country has begun, and currently we are the only carrier that has direct flights from the US. We also operate from Europe, Asia, and more destinations, and we'll talk about it a little more. We proudly carry the flag, and I think especially at this time, being the only carrier that continues to fly without any cancellations from the US, being the gateway between the two continents is a big contribute. One of the things we pride about is that we bring an authentic Israeli experience to the traveler. So basically, from the moment you step into the aircraft and until you step out, you already feel like you have reached Israel. It starts with the service, with the food, and in general, the music you can find on the airplane, the entertainment, all of that kind of makes the move into Israel way more smooth and extends your trip coming back to the US, because from previous conversations with people, usually people don't want to come back that fast. The trip is not long enough. We have received many awards for our service. On the aircraft, you can see those are from the last couple of years. If it's about comfortability, the Wi-Fi, our duty-free, definitely many options that of service that people appreciate. A little bit about what we had in 2024. We are reaching the end. This was not a regular year for us, so things have changed. We have currently 47 aircrafts. Out of them, 15 are Dreamlines, 43 destinations right now. Those do change over the year due to seasonality, demand, and so forth, but that's the current numbers. And then we have 6 different gateways from the US, and let's go over those gateways. So we have basically 5 from the East Coast and 1 from the West Coast, and I shared with you here both our winter schedule and our summer schedule. So you can see in the winter schedule we have less flights. However, I will say that because currently we are the only carrier from the US, we have added more flights until January so far. It might even be extended from New York. So the numbers you see here, if you look in the system, you might actually see higher numbers than winter schedule. Our new gateway that we only added this year is Fort Lauderdale. So we're pretty excited about adding a new gateway. And this actually allows us to fly daily from Florida. In general, just so for those of you who are wondering why they can't find any flights on Friday. So El Al doesn't operate on Shabbat. Shabbat is basically Saturday. And in the Jewish tradition, Shabbat begins on from Friday sunset until Saturday sunset. So on that time, on those 24 hours, we do not operate any flights according to the Jewish tradition. So if you cannot find any flights, that is the reason. If you are looking at other dates and you still can't find flights, it might be a high holiday or an important holiday in the Jewish tradition. So I do recommend looking at a Jewish calendar. If something doesn't make sense to you, why isn't there a flight on that day? It might be a holiday. This is how we fly around the world. So we don't only fly to the US, as you can see. We fly to many destinations around the world, all of them into Tel Aviv. If you look, and I'll try and kind of show you where Israel is, it's around here. Basically, you can see that if you're coming from North America, Israel is a good center point if you go to East Europe or if you go to the Far East. So some of the clients I know like to go to, let's say, Bangkok or Dubai, or we have also Phuket in Hong Kong. You can stop in Tel Aviv on the way. It's definitely an option with El Al. Tel Aviv is also a very small airport comparatively, of course. So transferring in the airport is not a big deal. So that's another thing that you can think about, if clients want to do Middle East, but maybe not just one destination, or want to do Middle East and Far East, definitely an option to kind of mix both. Why isn't it moving? Okay. So in Israel, we have the King David Lounge, and now we'll start talking a little bit about the experience your clients are going to have throughout this journey. So for your business class clients, we offer a lounge that has a real Israeli hospitality, and as Jill mentioned before, Israeli, the culinary scene in Israel is blooming. And one of the things Israelis are famous about is our breakfast. So you'll definitely be able to enjoy those flavors in our lunch. And don't worry, your clients will start their luxury experience already from the US gateways. So with each of our gateway, we actually have a lounge that we collaborate with, and your business clientele will be able to access those lounges. I do want to point here that Boston Airport, we just have a new collaboration due to the codeshare with Delta. So now our clients will be able to enter the Delta Sky Club Lounge, which is brand new one, and I haven't been there, but I heard it's a pretty nice one. So a great way to begin the journey. From the US, El Al operates a fleet of 787. We have both the 7878 and the 7879. It's exclusively the Dreamline. However, I will say that if we add last-minute flights, or there is some technical problem with some of the airplanes, I don't know, what we will replace it with will be a 777 that is configured exactly as the Dreamline. So we can guarantee that your clients will actually have the same kind of experience. The seats will be the same. It will feel the same. So you can feel comfortable about what you're selling, what is the end product that they will receive. As you know, the Dreamline is, and I think that's the most important thing, a very quiet airplane, which is amazing. The windows are dimmed. You have a pretty big screen for any of the cabins, good Wi-Fi throughout the aircraft, and that will be included for the business class, but it is available for everyone. So definitely a better experience. It's a long flight, and we want your clients to basically get to Israel, not half asleep, but ready to start walking and doing many stuff. The itineraries in Israel are usually pretty packed, so we want them to be energetic coming out of the aircraft. As I mentioned before, we have both the 7879 and the 7878. They are exactly the same from the inside, only one is shorter and one is longer. But basically, the way it looks from the inside, the seats are the same. You can see that our business class is a flat, goes down, reclines to a flat bed. Our premium has both a wider chair and more space for the legs. And then the economy, still very comfortable, 333. And we'll go over one by one. I do want to point here that if your clients are a little bit hesitant because they have never flown with us and they don't know how the business class is going to look, or is it worth doing the premium class, in our website, there is the option to actually see a 3D kind of go through in the cabins, and really, that it kind of shows you how it looks. You can go around and see how the cabin actually looks. I think it's a good thing to have in order to show people what they're paying for or what they're going to receive. So as we spoke before, El Al Business Class includes a lounge access both in Tel Aviv and in the US. They would get, of course, their own check-in lines, the meals, and I want to mention this because this is an important thing. The chef who has created the menu for El Al is called Asaf Granit. Asaf Granit is a Michelin star, has a Michelin star award for his restaurant in Paris. He is an Israeli chef that has been very well respected globally, and he is the one who created the menus for all cabins. So the food here is very high level, and I'm sure this is something that you'll hear about from your clients coming back. We spoke about the Wi-Fi. It's a 1-to-1 configuration, and you get a full flat bed. For our premium class, as I mentioned before, the seats are wider, the screens are wider, definitely extra comfortable. Your clients will still get 2 free checked bags, which is a great benefit as well. It's a 2-3-2 seating, and they get the footrest, which for me is a big deal. I don't know. I'm tall, maybe that's why. I don't know, but I think it's actually very comfortable to have that. And then in our economy class, we have the configuration is 333, still very large screens. Everyone gets US ports, power outlets, and we allow 1 free bag, checked bag, and they can choose their seat. So that's with even the basic type of reservation. Now, I want to talk about an addition that you can do to the economy cabin, basically. So we have space and extra space. Extra space is basically the bulkhead and the exit rows, while space is just extra space for the legs. It could be a middle seat or a window or an aisle, but it's not the bulkhead and the exit. Both of them have dynamic pricing, so according to availability and demand. Definitely improving for people who are tall or people who just need to move a little bit more, improving their experience. Those are in the front of the economy as well. So if they want to get out of the plane faster, that's another way to kind of guarantee that. Another product that, especially in this time, is very important, and I think it's been selling, way more than normal even, is our El Al Protect. The El Al Protect can be added to the booking, but it has to be done while booking the ticket. So I do want to say that. It's only available for FIT, so not relevant for groups. And it allows your clients to basically cancel for any reason up to 48 hours before the trip. Now, instead of getting a refund, they get the full amount into a voucher they can use for future flights. Currently, the voucher is for booking until the end of 2025, and you can book until the end of 2026. But of course, this will change as the year kind of develops. But it will give your client a little bit of more flexibility. They will not lose any of the money they invested in the ticket. And the most important thing is that they can actually transfer it to another person. So I know with many other carriers, the same person has to travel. With our voucher, you can use it for different people, and you can use it on multiple bookings. So even if the voucher, let's say it's $1,000 and you buy 2 $500 tickets, that's fine. You can use it. You won't lose any of its value. So definitely a good product to have and to use, especially at this a little bit less stable time. And then we just started basically selling this, and this will be the 2 different types of tickets will be relevant for flights from the 2nd of November. So I believe any flight that you would actually book from now on. We offer two options, Classic and Flex. The difference in price is $270. And the benefits of basically booking a Flex flight is that you get an extra carry-on, which you cannot add otherwise. This extra space seat or front seat in the economy class is included within this 270. You get I'll Protect as well, so in case of cancellation, or they can use a lower refund fee, or they can receive the full payment, the full amount into a voucher. So that is all included within the 270. For those clients who want a little bit more, this is definitely a great option to make them feel more secure and more comfortable booking. Now, I know many of you sell to clienteles that are not only on the East Coast and the West Coast, and that's why I'm going to talk a little bit about our US carrier partners, but I do want to mention that we do have also internationally many code shares. Feel free to look in the system. If you're not sure, you can always ask us. But in general, newer ones that I want to mention are Air France, Virgin Atlantic, Aeromexico. So all of those you can book with us. It's a one ticket. For some of them, it's a full codeshare that includes miles. For others, it's not, but in any way, it's a one ticket. It's a protected ticket. So definitely makes a difference. And with our US carriers, we have a codeshare with Delta, with Alaska, and JetBlue. The agreement with Delta is pretty new. It's from this year, so we're very excited about it. Now, it is available for both groups and individuals. So that is something that you can request. I know with Centrav, you can request through the platform a group. So you can also request groups with Delta and Alaska if that's something that is relevant to get to our gateways in the US. But the main advantage here is that your customer, whether they're coming from Colorado or Seattle or Chicago, they'll be able to check their bag all the way to Tel Aviv. They'll have a protected ticket. And since, especially from JFK, we offer way more than one flight a day, they have a chance, even if they got a delay on the first flight, to really do fly the same day. And this includes also, of course, the seating, and with Delta, which is the most important, you can get the miles. So even if you travel with us, you can use miles or you can get miles on Delta. I hope you learned a little bit more about El Al. I hope now you can pronounce our name too. And as I said, I am the district sales manager in Central US. I also deal with group booking throughout the whole US. So if you have any questions about those, feel free to reach out.